Go ahead.
So the point of order is this. Number of points. Number one, this is a constitutional motion. Number one, keep that in mind. Number two, there are restrictions on what matters the PBC can consider and not consider. Your jurisdiction as the PBC under Standing Order 22 is confined to just two limited areas. Number one is you have to consider whether it's parochial, and number two, you have to consider whether it's in the national interest. You can't consider any legal provisions outside of the requirements of Standing Order 22. You cannot even rely on the other provisions of the standing orders. So here, your ruling is very clear. You are not saying this matter is parochial, therefore is rejected. You haven't said that. You're relying on Section Standing Order 165, which you cannot, to say that it's the same substantive motion. So I will the committee has decided to reject it. That is wrong. You can't even go to Standing Order 165. You are confined to Standing Order 22. Now, the only basis on which you can reject it, or the PBC can, is to tell this Parliament that it's parochial. You have not used that word. You've gone well outside that jurisdiction, or the committee has. And that is wrong. We've been saying we are a country of laws. We said it this morning. So we must stick to the laws. And the law says if it is not parochial, then you got to allow it to go through. And you can't raise a point of order upon a point of order.
Honorable Member for Sinisina Young Group, Honorable Member for Sinisina, I by today deliver to you the decision of the committee. And
I'm registering myself because I will rely upon it in court if I have to go to court.
I've seen your point of order is being raised
I'm
like
recording my
debating.
objection, my committee's point of order here, so that we can say when we go to court, the court will not tell us you've waived your right or you have been stopped by your silence from raising it in the chamber, therefore you cannot raise it in court. So I'm registering here to pave the way for me to raise it in court. You have to understand that. So you've got to allow me to complete my point of order, and the final point is this. 165, Standing Order 165.
Honourable Governor, we still have the member raising his point of order, so I'll allow him to.
Standing Order 165.
The Honourable Member have already made himself clear that he wants to use this to place to himself what he wants to place on record in Parliament, so I'll allow him to raise that. But the decision of the committee I've already announced.
Correct. Thank you, Deputy. So, Section 165 talks about the rejection of motions that are of the same substance in form. This motion is not the same motion in substance. It names a completely different alternative Prime Minister. So you cannot rely on Section 165 of the Standing Order to say it's the same motion in substance or material form. You can't say that. It names a completely different alternative Prime Minister. So you've taken the other side of the coin to say it has not named a different Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is still the current Prime Minister, but that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, which varies by virtue of the character of the motion, is that you have a new alternative. So that makes it substantially different. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member for Sinisina, on your point of order. Your point of order is noted. The decision I've delivered is the decision of the committee, which I would not deliberate anymore on this. So we'll move on to the order of this day. The Honourable Minister for Justice and Attorney General.